Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if your name is Drake, it looks like academics has exposed you, but baby, it's not over because people are starting to dig into your past and talk about the way something really might be wrong with Drake. Here's the thing, maybe we've been looking at it all wrong. I mean, he's not, doesn't seem to be a collaborator, he seems to be a colonizer. But what if Drake's whole mission wasn't just to destroy Black culture? What if he really wanted to destroy Black family because he's jealous that everybody had a daddy except for him? Y'all, let's get into this. This would actually explain why Drake is so obsessed with Whitney, maybe or maybe not being mixed. At the end of the day, Drake still don't get it. It's the culture. These people come out and being like, they just don't like Drake because he's mixed. We've been known Drake was mixed the whole 15 years. I don't know where you've been, but Black people are the most accepting people in the world. And baby, I've been all over the world. This isn't a got you moment. We all knew that he was mixed. We just didn't know how evil hearted he was. Now, where y'all want to start out first? First, we talk about the academic stuff. Act is coming out blazing for Kendrick. First, he did that weird ode to how great Kendrick looked with his shape up. And I said, it tracks Fluffy. It tracks because I still ain't forget the way you was glazing for Takashi 69, literally asking, could you comb his hair? Anyway, Act was busy falling in love with Kendrick and his fresh shape up. I will say, Kendrick is evolving. He's now into, before you could tell he was sorting through some stuff. Him and Whitney, He was like, okay, I got the braids, whatever. Now he got that fresh shape up and that Prada suit. He said, let me tell you, Whitney ain't the only good looking person in this relationship. I said, okay, Kendrick, we see you respectfully, of course, to Whitney. Okay, so academics was saying, guess what? I talked to my man at Spotify and Kendrick streams are real. First of all, Fluffy, we didn't need academics to tell us that Kendrick streams are, in fact, real. Did you need them to tell it? I walk in everywhere. I go down the street. I talk to anybody. Not like, yes, Euphoria, 616 in LA. It's whatever. Drake's fans are talking about, well, good luck. Have fun peeking. Baby, just because you don't know who Kate that is doesn't mean the rest of the world do. Baby, men lie, women lie, but numbers don't. At least if it's not Drake's stream numbers. Anyway, y'all. So let's get into this. So people started doing a little digging, and there's an old interview that surfaced to Pusha T when he was like, something's wrong with Drake. The way he's mad that his mom never remarried, the way he trots his dad out in funny suits, and his dad only came around because Drake had a couple dollars, the way all this stuff happened. So I started thinking about it, right? And a lot of people all over Twitter did. Think about it, y'all. When first of all, Drake goes after women. That's his biggest downfall. He goes after women and he looks for excuses to go after women through rap beef, right? But when there's no rap beef, he'll still go after women. Case in point, Pusha T and his wife, correct? Rihanna and her family. Rihanna been off of Drake forever, right? Even though he was always playing himself for her, but he's been. She is now married with 2 kids. You attacked a woman that had a newborn that is happy living her life, and the Drake heads and academics was like, yeah. Because at the end of the day, Drake doesn't have respect for Black women. He doesn't have respect for Black families, but I think he's also jealous because at the end of the day, when he went after Whitney, look at Whitney. If Whitney wasn't with Kendrick, Drake would be trying to push up on her. Whitney is his type, body, face, everything. But more importantly, I think it's the fact that Kendrick has something that Drake will never have. He has a happy family. See, Drake doesn't not only doesn't have a happy family, okay, um, because he's a weirdo, I think. But one of the reasons why he is still 45, 50 shutting the club down, even though these Drake Glazers that might be 19 are like, yeah, because when you're 19, you don't realize that when you have access to all the money, fun, all this other stuff, even groupies night after night, it gets old. You actually want somebody to be your best friend. You want someone to lay down with. But think about why the real reason he's also mad. One, I don't think he has a mental maturity to actually forge a relationship with someone that is not as toxic as him. But more importantly, look who Drake chose. Drake couldn't bring his baby's mom out in public even if he wanted to. And make no mistake, he does not want to. He is ashamed of her. The woman he picked, he chose, he is now ashamed of. But what's more, he knows that at the end of the day, you can't bring this girl around, partly because he's ashamed of her, because Kanye brought Kim around and Kim had the tape. So, but you can't stand there. The woman you picked is a reflection of yourself. And this ain't no shade to her. This is shade to Drake. And the way that he still can't man up and be like, this is the woman I picked, and I'm going to make y'all respect her. He won't do that. The mother of his child. But even more than that, right? Drake, I really do think the more we get into it, Pusha T forced him into being a father. Really quick, watch this clip, and then we're going to continue.
Knowing what your kid weighed when they popped out is such a useless fact. Like, I'm sorry, I do not know what my son
That's
weighed.
what I'm saying. But it doesn't mean you don't love your son. Right. And you know what he likes.
Yeah, well, now I didn't then. He was just like a
yeah, exactly.
pod or something. I don't know. I just hold him and be like,
it's crazy.
I wasn't like, yep, 6.5 pounds. Like, I don't care.
But that is a real thing, though. That's a real thing in the world. People feel like you're supposed to know these things.
Yeah.
And I never understood the conception of that logic. Like,
like people in Milwaukee?
No, like people everywhere.
I really do like to gamble.
And what's the best thing to bet on?
Fatherhood.
You bet on fatherhood?
You can always bet.
You bet on fatherhood a lot?
I just meant it more like an encouraging, like you can always bet on fatherhood. Right?
I'm not gonna get into that time I hit you about that time about the shit on the internet.
That's every day.
Yeah. But the one time about the time I was upset.
You're always upset.
Okay. Are y'all with me now? Are y'all locked in? What type of man? Again, I think Drake is being exposed for having a mental illness. He literally is some type of evil comic book villain. What type of man gets mad and brags openly that you don't know how much your son weighed? You don't know how much your child weighed when they were born? You don't remember that little yachty? Yeah, should you? I mean, you love him. And then Drake, I mean, now I do. You had to say, now I do. There is something wrong with that mofo. And second of all, I said, Drake, just act like you weren't around when the baby was born. And can we just call it a day and stop the charade? Who doesn't remember the time that a human being, if you're there for the birth, the time they come into this world, whether they are your niece, nephew, or whatever, if you are in the room, how could you forget that? But then to say it's a pointless fact and to say now you like, this is even with his own child. And keep in mind what Kanye West said. Hold on, let's get into that too.
Drake don't do a diss, like an outright diss song where it's a headshot. He's gonna set it up like war. He gonna do stuff like live 5 blocks down the street from you. He gonna like go and, DM every single girl in your family, every single girl around your family, right? But it's all psychological, right? So it's like what button is someone gonna hit? Where can you hit?
To destroy his opponent, it's the art of war, where literally he goes around and tries to defile, disgrace, and break up any happiness that he sees. Y'all, does this mofo got a mental illness or not? I get where it's coming from. You grew up in a single family. You felt rejected. You felt this. I don't even think, I think on one hand, he's mad that he sees his peers holding together relationships, and Drake, for all his money, this, that, and the third, he doesn't have the skills to hold together a relationship with a woman of his own age. And the girls he like, maybe he can't bring out in front, but I think it's deeper than that. I think Drake looks at Kendrick's kids. I think he looks at Pusha T's kids. I think he looks at Rihanna's kids. And I think there's such a jealousy, and he doesn't recognize it in jealousy. So he acts out, he does this, he does this. Again, Remember when Kendrick said this is a lifelong battle with yourself? I don't even think it's with himself. I mean, it is, but I think it even transcends the men and it goes into women and children. Because think about it. Why did he go in on Serena? She had been moved on, been married, been this, been that, got kids, looked like she's living her life. And he did everything he could to either make Serena leave that man and that man to leave Serena so the kids can grow up exactly the way he is. You know that old saying that people say, sometimes people's mothers that didn't get the treatment they wanted from the man will harass the girlfriends because if I didn't get that treatment and if this is that, what you deserve it for, right? And some men will do the same thing. I didn't get that treatment. What do you deserve it for? My mom didn't get treated like that. What do you deserve it for? I think it's that whole thing of jealousy and whatever. In any case, you guys, watch the interview. Matter of fact, I'll put this interview with Pusha T right behind it so you can actually see what he's saying in entirety. But I think there's some truth to it. Drake is diabolical. I really do think it's family. And because he has so many issues with his dad, who is Black, I think it's Black families that he gets off on trying to break up. Unfortunately, every time he attacks a woman, it's, and also the last thing before I do the Pusha T, the fact that Drake is also so misogynistic that you somehow think that women are property and that if you get a follow back or you get this, what did you do? What did you do? What did you do? Did you take a man's crown? Did you take his ego? What did you do? Going around and messing around with exes, following people's daughters that just turned 18. Again, Drake is sick in his head. And the more he spirals, the more he's going into his stuff. Let's also not forget, before we get to the Pusha T, Michael Rubin, that is corny ass billionaire. I don't care if he's worth $1 billion, baby. I don't need the money. I'm fine, right? And that Nepo baby showing the white party, and Drake is sitting there trying to act like, yeah, no, Kendrick music was played. Did y'all see the party? It was the wackest party in the world. It looked like a networking event. You know, the ones you have to go to, the office happy hours. You want to go out with your friends and they're like, oh, it's company happy hour on Thursday. And you got to go. You can't drink. You can't really dance. You can't actually, you can't show your real self. You got to sit there and just code switch while the office party's going on. That's what it looked like. I don't care how much music you have. I don't care Lil Wayne performed. I don't care nothing about that. It was whack AF. But anyway, y'all, hit me up with this Pusha T. Watch the Pusha T video and then let me know what you think in the comments. But I think his mental illness has been exposed. I think he took the biggest L, is exposing. At the end of the day, he is just a hurt little boy trying to make sure, and sick. Seems like that other kids feel the same way he did when Dennis couldn't go pick him up. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
What was like, the line was trash, right? It was a line about like, I'm gonna make it ring on you, like Virginia Williams. The line itself is trash.
Oh yeah, no.
And to me, I felt like, wait a minute, what is the real issue with you in marriage? So then now I gotta dig deeper into who the person is. Now I gotta dig in and see, what are y'all like? What's your family like? Oh, your dad left you at 5. Oh, I get that. He never walked you to the bus stop. You're mad about this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
It's like, man, your mom, she never remarried. Oh, you don't even know what like family is. So of course you don't dig marriage. Oh, I get it. Okay, boom. Dang. Okay, bang. Now it's like, you gotta look a little further. You gotta dig a little deeper and say, okay, boom. Now, I love my family. Mm-hmm. And I like, it's just certain things I'm just not. I've been in this game for 16 years. Certain things I'm not into. It's like I don't like people speaking to my mother. I don't like people speaking to my father about music stuff. I don't like, I got to switch churches. You leave a CD on my mother's car, we got to switch to church.
Wow.
I can't do this right now. Like, because it's pressure that bothers me. I look at him and I'm like, oh, like you parade your dad around in these weird suits. You parade him. It's clown-like. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
That's what I get. I get clown feelings from that. I look at him. There's somebody, you know, I get the picture of the actual photo that I used
Of the blackface.
of the blackface.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, it makes sense. You parade your dad around. This is done in '08. This was done in '08. You don't even know that that's not right. That you like, there's no explanation for that to me. Man, I'm Pusha T.
sir.
Like, listen, the biggest highlight of my life, happened in the past few years. Me messing with like Obama and prison reform and so on and so forth. Like,
Brother's keeper.
yo, yeah, like, come on. Like, this is me, right? Dope boy, blah, 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 you know, everything. This is real me. Like, you are silent in all black issues, Drake. You really are. You are really, really silent. I don't hear about anything. You don't stand for nothing. You don't say nothing about nothing. You don't. It's just what it is. Like, you have all the platform in the world. You were so passionate back then. No, you weren't. That's number one. That's what I know. Number two, you gotta think about who a person really, really is. And it's like, okay, bang. That's why it's okay. That's why it's okay for you to take a photo like this. You didn't even know it was right. You don't even know how fully, you don't know where you stand at. Mm-hmm. You don't know where you stand at. Oh, that's why you gotta, you know, you highlight your dad clowning like that. Oh, you know, you run to the Memphis. Oh, I'm Memphis, Houston. That's my black side. You never related. Stop playing. Just really, I'm speaking about the character of a man. I'm speaking about the principles of a man. I'm talking about, you know, when we get into where do we stop? When we get into even the part about the child, it's like, man, I'm just trying to get the listeners to understand. It's like, I think there's something wrong up here. You have a whole child. You know, you speak to me in your raps. You talking to me. You speak to me when you're multi-million. I feel like, okay, bang, you got multi-millions. You mean you got multi-millions and a whole child that's not like in arm's reach? Like my peers who have children, because I don't have children, and I want children. And I'm gonna have children.
Yes, sir.
Right? So what I'm saying is my peers who, like, you know, in this, you know, they on the gram, they taking pictures, you know, put chains on their sons for their birthday. And, you know, Khaled, he walk around with his son. Like, it's like a thing. And I'm like, again, who is this? Like, you got a whole child that you suppressing. You're not even, you know, you got a whole child that nobody knows about. It's real. It's real. It ain't, ghostwriting ain't alleged. The reference tracks ain't alleged. The baby ain't alleged. It's not alleged. It's real. That's it. And my point with that is just saying we can't even know about something that's like so precious. We can't even know about the kid, right? But we can know about it when you roll it out with your alleged new Adidas deal. You can roll out